Bryant McFadden joins the show to join us for a little overreaction versus reality. And we're going to start with a Steelers-related question for BMAC. We're going to say the Steelers are the best team in the AFC North. Overreaction or reality?
Reality, guys. It's not an overreaction. You know why? We have the best coach in the division, right? Now, when I say something that isn't true, you guys stop me. So you haven't stopped me yet.
Stopped you.
We have the best coach in the division.
Yeah.
We have the best defense in the division. We have the best special teams in the division.
True.
The last time I checked, all of those are winning components. Not going to say we have the best quarterback because that would be a lie. You guys would stop me. But outside of that, everything would be in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers when you talk about coaching, when you talk about defense, when you talk about special teams. I like those components. So yes, that's the reality, guys, right?
I think it's reality too.
I'm not here to argue with that.
I'm in agreement. We're all in agreement. That's
Yeah.
reality. I just think
Best receiver?
Ooh, yes. No, I'm sorry.
He likes Zay.
I'm
Likes
sorry.
Zay.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Oh, I thought we were just talking. I thought we were going Ravens, Pittsburgh.
So Kyle is only just talking about two organizations, so he's
because
pretty
the
much
Bengals,
already.
Bengals are cooked.
Pickens is the best between the Steelers and the Ravens.
Yes.
He is a true number one wide receiver. I think the people that were
I gave him a nickname a few
him.
weeks back too, guys. You want to know what it is?
Yeah.
GPS. You know what it stands for?
Because you're never
Location.
lost when you go to him.
No. GPS stands for George Pickens score.
And it works. He's amazing.
He's the most entertaining guy on the field.
And
at
he's
any
perfect
time.
for Russell Wilson. They are complementary players through and through with Wilson and the deep ball and the touch he puts on it and George Pickens' ability to GPS locate those downfield routes. They've averaged over 30 points per game with Russell Wilson at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And this defense it's not even just the best defense in that division. It's like far and away the best defense in that division. In the running for the best defense in the NFL. And they've been battle tested. I think the Ravens offensively, no one's going to question it. They're going to put up 30 on just about anyone in the NFL. But they're going to give up 30 to a lot of teams, unfortunately, too. And we've seen them. That's how you lose games to the Raiders. That's how you lose games to the Browns. Yeah. They've been fallible at portions of the season, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah, and the scary thing to me is that the Steelers team is usually scrambling in the back half of the season to get back to that 500 and above 500 mark. This team has been hot for a couple weeks now.
That's the ability
it's an early start. Yeah. And to your point about George Pickens, we always talk about this. George Pickens is, at any given time, the most talented guy on the football field. Yeah. But the one thing that you can't set your watch to is his involvement, is his... are you present in mind for this game? Since Russell Wilson's been in there, he knows that he has a chance to make a big play. Every time they go on the field, he's been locked in.
And Russ is going to get him the football.
Yeah.
He's going to target his wide receiver one, which is a plus.
All right, next one. Overreaction versus reality. Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, will win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Before we get to that, I'm going to give you the odds. Jared Verse is currently minus 190, the defensive end for the Los Angeles Rams. Quinyon is at plus 2,100. He only has the fourth best odds, but if you've watched him at all the past handful of weeks, I think ever since that Falcons game early on the season, he has been a number one type of corner. So is that overreaction or is that reality, BMAC?
I think that's an overreaction. Now, it's not a knock on Quinyon because he's been a dog. He's been living up to the billing. You look at their success, especially in the back end, a lot of that has to do with his play. But the reason why this is an overreaction is because you look at the top guy when it comes to the odds is Jared Verse. He plays a position where he really can impact a game, play in and play out. When you talk about being a pass rusher, we've seen what he's done. He has 5 sacks. I think he has around 39 pressures, which is top 10 in the National Football League. But also, he's not a one-trick pony. Look at what he does in run support as well. So when you look at the surges of what they're doing defensively, he's been one of the main catalysts for their success, especially the guys in the front. It's almost like that position, when you look at that award, is very, very favorable when you talk about guys winning that award. So I think Jared Verse is probably the best guy to put money on, even though there's not a lot of juice in that orange. I think this is an overreaction. I think that's Jared Verse's award to lose.
I also think that group on the back end, they've gotten better with one another, and Vic Fangio has got them playing a confident brand of football. When we talk about Jared Verse, you said it, 39 pressures. The guy finds a way to win, and for a rookie to go into his bag the way he has, it's been unbelievable. And you talked about his build, his frame, the way this guy comes out of the box just naturally. He is strong. He plays violently. He sets edges, plays the run and the pass. Tonight, he's going to be a big part of that football game as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When I was scouting both these guys coming out, this was the strongest defensive end in this class, and this was the strongest cornerback. Just like literal strongest, not best necessarily, but pound for pound, these guys
it's important.
play physically.
Yep.
And you're seeing that show up. Now, I agree with both your guys' points that the stats will come for a guy in the line of scrimmage that won't necessarily for a guy at cornerback, because when you are your best reps at cornerback lead to nothing on a stat sheet. You know, the best reps at quarterback lead to the quarterback looking elsewhere because you did your job so well that he wouldn't even think about targeting you. So Quinyon not putting up big numbers, but if I'm realistically stacking up defensive rookie of the year right now, it's Jared Verse, then it's Quinyon Mitchell, and then it's a big gap in my opinion. Those two are playing at a different level than everyone else.
The Eagles are going to continue to play well, and he's going to continue to have opportunities to make big plays and be a big part of that defense. And people are coming around on the Eagles, and I think that recency stuff really matters. So if you're watching the Eagles and this team get really hot, you're focused on these young players that are helping their team. So I think that helps his case.
And one thing that could help Quinyon Mitchell, when you look at the Eagles' schedule the rest of the way, they will be in that prime time spotlight. If you can make a significant play in those opportunities, hint, this Thursday against the Commanders, Thursday night football, that's when everyone gets an opportunity to see, wow, he's a difference maker. And for Jared Verse, he has tonight, Monday Night Football. So both guys will have the
center
stage.
of the football universe,
Facts.
as our coaches used to say. Are you ready for this? Yeah.
Last overreaction versus reality. Arizona Cardinals, your first place team in the NFC West. They will win the NFC West this season.
Overreaction. Great job by Arizona, the staff. Kyler Murray has been outstanding. Connor has been running the football. Their defense has been under the radar very, very good over the last few weeks as well. But I like 49ers. I like the Rams. I like those two teams below the Arizona Cardinals because from top to bottom, I love what they can do in any given moment. Not to mention Sean McVay, the coaching, Kyle Shanahan. He's been known to get off to slow starts. This is usually where the 49ers turn the corner for the better, and they're getting healthy. So I think this is an overreaction. No knock on the Arizona Cardinals, because I do think they can make the playoffs, but I don't see them winning the division. I take the field.
The Rams got healthy at the receiver position. They were able to do things on their offense as they planned to do before the season. But I want to point out, and you talked about all the things that they ask of their receiver room in Los Angeles. It's hard to keep those guys healthy when you have so much volume and you ask so much of them. When you ask them to crack down block and you ask them to lead block on the outside, you're not just having these guys catch passes and get tackled. They are a huge focal point in the offense. And for the other team that I think could make a run at it, it's obviously the San Francisco 49ers. They're getting healthy at the right time. Brock Purdy under the radar playing some really good football. The offensive line can win you games in tough spots. I like the Niners a lot.
Yeah, I have to say it's overreaction. I think the 49ers and the Rams actually end up ahead of the Cardinals when it's all said and done, just because I see this Cardinals defense. And they have so many young players who I think are better than maybe their household notoriety. Guys like Garrett Williams, Starling Thomas on that defense that are playing better than maybe you would think given their draft position. But 49ers and the Rams just offensively are houses. They are going to, with what they're getting back from injuries, both of those two teams in the coming weeks, put up a lot of points on the scoreboard. And the Cardinals have really eked by in the skin of their teeth in a lot of games this year. So because of that, give me the 49ers Rams. All right, we're going to come back after this and give some of our favorite moments of the weekend coming up next. Cam Bynum